Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to crochet this eye-catching log cabin granny square. You can customize the size by adding or deleting rounds. There are so many ways to crochet a unique log cabin pattern with your selection of colors and working them in different configurations, changing the number of rows, tilting the squares and adding other shapes, and using different stitches. Today we'll start with a basic pattern using single crochet stitches. This is an easy pattern to follow, making it a great project for beginners. It does create a lot of yarn tails, but it's worth it when you see the end result. Here you can see two options. For the square on the left, you work under both loops of each stitch for the entire square. I'll be demonstrating the textured square on the right. This is achieved by alternating your stitches under both loops, front loop only and back loop only. I use the same hook and yarn for each square, but work my stitches a little tighter for the textured square to avoid large gaps that can happen when working under one loop only. I've included tip boxes throughout the video that will help you get the best results, so keep an eye out for those. If this is your first visit to my channel and you love to craft and crochet, take a look around my channel for some fun projects and tutorials. And don't forget to check out my Ravelry shop, where I have written patterns available for some unique projects. The shop will be linked in the description box. If you enjoyed this tutorial, I hope you'll support my channel by giving this video a thumbs up, leaving a comment, and subscribing. Now let's have some fun crocheting. I used 5 different colors of a medium 4-weight yarn: white, black, and 3 shades of the same color. You can use whatever yarn weight and colors that you like for your project. Chain 6 with your first color. It's a good idea to keep your chains a little loose. This will make it easier to work into the back bumps in the first row. Single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Single crochet in the next 4 chains. One thing that I didn't do but wish I had was put a stitch marker in the side of the first and last stitch of each row. This is going to help you locate where to put your hook in future rounds, and it's also going to save time. But of course, it's completely optional. Chain 1 and turn the work. Single crochet in all 5 stitches across the row. You repeat this 3 more times, giving you a total of 5 rows. Before moving on, you'll want to make sure that you don't have any gaps in stitches. As we stitch into the sides of these rows, it really accentuates any larger gaps that you may have. I found it helpful to use just a little bit tighter tension on that first and last stitch of each row, and that really helped. In the 5th row, you'll single crochet 4 times. We'll be changing color, so we start the 5th stitch, insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Drop the first color, lay the second color over the hook, and pull it through both loops to complete the single crochet. I'll be working over my yarn tails just to keep it easier to see what I'm doing in the tutorial. Working over the tails can create a bit of a bump in the back, but my square will be part of a blanket that I'm donating to the Humane Society, and I'm sure the kitties won't mind. If your square will be part of a blanket, it's best to leave longer tails and sew them in. Each time we start a new color, we rotate the work 90 degrees clockwise. Chain 1. You'll put 1 single crochet into the side of the first 4 rows. This is where the stitch markers would have come in handy. You'll want to make sure that you're inserting the hook under 2 strands of yarn. Inserting the hook under 1 strand of yarn creates a gap that doesn't look good. It can be a little challenging crocheting into the sides of the rows because you're not going under the 2 top loops, but do the best that you can. It's important to be mindful of where you're inserting the hook, because when you're working into the sides of the rows, it can create different stitch sizes and you want your stitches to be consistent. You may find it easier to use a smaller crochet hook to get into some of those stitches which are a little tighter. You'll see me changing hooks throughout the video. We skip the side of the last row. We'll be rotating the square and working on the next side. So rather than working into the side of the stitch, we'll work under both top loops of the stitch when it's rotated. Because we worked into the back bumps of the chain, it's very easy to see the 2 top loops. This is why I would recommend working in the back bumps of the starting chain rather than working in the back loop. Insert the hook under both top loops. This will be our corner, and we'll work 3 single crochets into the same stitch. You may find it helpful to put a stitch marker in the second or middle single crochet of the 3-stitch corner. This will help you quickly identify where the corners are. Single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn the work. In the second row, we'll be working in the front loops only. I found it helpful to single crochet under both top loops of the first and last stitch only. This gives it a more secure hold and minimizes any gaps. Single crochet in the front loop only of the next 4 stitches. We're at the corner stitch, so put 3 single crochets into the same stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of the next 4 stitches. Single crochet under both top loops of the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn the work. For the third row of this color, we'll be working into the back loops only, but again, you'll want to work under both top loops of the first and last stitch. Single crochet in the back loop only of the next 5 stitches. Work the corner with 3 single crochets into the same stitch. Single crochet into the back loop only of the next 5 stitches. We'll single crochet under both top loops of the last stitch, but we'll be changing colors again. Insert the hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Drop the second color, lay the third color over your hook, and pull it through both loops to complete the single crochet. We're starting a new color, so we rotate the work 90 degrees clockwise and chain 1. Single crochet in the sides of the stitches for the first 7 rows. Do not crochet into the side of the last row. Skip the side of the last row and single crochet 3 times under both top loops of the stitch from the next side. Single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Single crochet into the sides of the stitches for the last 3 rows. Chain 1 and turn the work. The second row is worked in the front loops only. However, we crochet the first and last stitch going under both loops. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch until you reach the corner stitch. put 3 single crochets into the corner stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch to the end of the row. Single crochet under both loops of the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn the work. Remarkably, this is the only row where I forgot to start under both top loops. Single crochet under the back loop only of each stitch until you reach the next corner. Work the corner with 3 single crochets in the next stitch. Single crochet in the back loop only until you reach the last stitch. We'll be working under both top loops of the last stitch, but we'll be changing colors. Drop the third color, lay the first color over the hook, and pull it through to complete the single crochet. We rotate the work 90 degrees clockwise. Chain 1, single crochet into the sides of the stitches from the 3 rows we just completed. Single crochet in the next 7 stitches. Work the corner with 3 single crochets into the same stitch. Single crochet under both loops of each stitch until you reach the end of the row. Single crochet into the sides of the stitches from the previous 3 rows. Chain 1 and turn. Start with a single crochet under both top loops of the first stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch until you reach the corner stitch. Work a corner with 3 single crochets in the next stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch to the end of the row. Single crochet under both top loops of the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Single crochet under both top loops of the first stitch. Single crochet under the back loop only of each stitch until you reach the corner. Work a corner with 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Single crochet in the back loop only until you reach the last stitch. Single crochet under both loops of the last stitch. We'll be changing colors. Drop the first color, lay the fourth color over the hook and pull it through to complete the single crochet. Rotate the work 90 degrees clockwise. Chain 1. Single crochet into the sides of the stitches from the last 3 rows. Single crochet under both loops of each stitch until you reach the next corner. Work a corner with 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Single crochet under both loops of each stitch until you reach the end of the row. Chain 1 and turn the work. This is a front loop only round, but we start by working under both top loops of the first stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch until you reach the corner stitch. Single crochet 3 times in the front loop only of the corner stitch. Single crochet in the front loop only of each stitch to the end of the row. Single crochet under both top loops of the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Start with a single crochet under both top loops of the first stitch. Complete the row with a single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch, working 3 single crochets in the corner stitch and ending with a single crochet under both top loops of the last stitch. We will change colors in the last stitch. Complete 3 rows of the 5th color, just like you did in previous rows. The first row is worked under both loops, the second row is worked under the front loop only, and the third row is worked under the back loop only. At the end of the third row, you'll change to the first color. You'll follow the same sequence as you did in previous rows. I'll meet you back at the end of the third row to show you how to finish off. After the last stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. Thread the yarn onto a yarn needle. For a secure hold, sew in the tail going in multiple directions. That completes the log cabin granny square. I'll definitely be sharing more log cabin tutorials in future videos. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.